Good morning, all of you. Today, I will share my experience with you as a duty in the election as a sector supervisor. In the previous years, I have also performed the election duty as a presiding officer, but now I feel a new experience with this new duty as a sector supervisor. I performed this duty from 3rd of November to the 12th of November 2022 in the panchayat elections of Jila Parishad, Panchayat Samiti, Sarpanch and the Panch in the two phases. First phase is on 8th and 9th, second phase on 9th and 12th. In the first phase, the election on 9th November, Jila Parishad and the Panchayat Samiti election on 9th November, and the Sarpanch and the Panch election on 12th November. So I have very greater experience of this election duty as a sector supervisor. First of all, what we have to do in that duty, we have to report to the returning officer. First of all, I receive a letter through my office that you have to perform the duty of sector supervisor. As my name here at point number 3, I have performed duty of sector supervisor in these different areas of Farmana Khas, Farmana Badshapur, Bheni Chandrapal, and Bedwa. And we have the total number of booths under me these are 16. So that is not a very simple task, but first of all, what we have to do, we have to visit from November 3rd to the November 7th on all the booths to verify all the facilities. These facilities are in terms of light, in terms of no disturbance from the outside. There should be no debris, bricks, etc. in the nearby area. And we have to report about all these at 5 p.m. daily to our returning officer. As we got my duty in the area, that is the Mehem area, Mehem block. So we have to report daily at 5 p.m. at the Mehem block at Mehem to the returning officer. Our returning officer is very cool-minded person. So we feel very easiness in our duties. So from November 3rd to the November 7th, we daily visit on all the booths. We meet on working days to the principal of all these school, because all these booths are in the schools. So we meet with the principal and we ask to the principal about if there is something limitation, something shortcoming on the booth. All the principal assured us that there will be no lacking at all the booths in my school. At the last, we find that almost all the election goes very smooth in terms of infrastructure, in terms of voting. Further, as you can see in the note, all the sector supervisors are conferred with the power of special executive magistrate. Hence, they shall act as executive magistrate also whenever need arises on the day of poll, but the election goes very smooth. We have no requirement of all these. Now we will share with you some Google photos. So that is the identity card which is been given by the RO of the Mehem block. I have performed the duty from 3rd November 2022 to 12th November 2022. We have no problem in giving the duties. So first of all, we have take the survey of all the booth before the election from the November 3rd to November 7th, 2022. As we have to see all about the toilets, whether the facility of the toilet in the school is there or not. If there is something no facility, we have to inform to the returning officer. But generally it is found that all the principals in all the schools provide all type of facilities. So that is the different pictures which are being taken through the GPS map camera. These are the pictures at different booths where we have to take survey, different facilities been note down. If there is something lacking, that is also been note down, and that been covered, that been rectified at the local level. I generally have no problem. I face no problem during the whole of the survey. I have no point to notify to the returning officer about regarding the facility, regarding the handicapped person, physically handicapped person to move. Because already in all the school there are very good facility for all type of persons, because all the infrastructure of all the schools, all the institutions already been framed by the government of Haryana in such a way that all can easily approach from one room to the another one. There are many slopes in whole of the school from where the physically handicapped person may also move in their wheelchair from one room to the another one. So these are the different booth where we generally take the survey from the November 3rd to the November 7th, because on the dated 8th November we have to reach at the polling station along with the different teams. So that is the surveying which are being done by all the sector supervisor in their respective blocks, their respective areas. So that is about the Farmana Khas. Now that about the booth of Farmana Badshapur. These are the booth of Bedwa. On the November 8th and 9th, we have additional police force, EVM trainer, master trainer, which are always with me in the vehicles which been provided by the government of Haryana, in which we have to take booth at the regular intervals. We have to take survey on all the booths in all the 4 villages, that's the Bheni Chandrapal, Farmana Khas, Farmana Badshapur, and the Bedwa. We take a regular visit. So that is the list of the police force, police officials. Further, we have a sheet to collect the number of the vote polled at the regular intervals at all the booths during the Jila Parishad and the Panchayat Samiti elections on dated 9. So that is the sheet which is being filled by the sector supervisor and the district magistrate. So I filled that sheet at the regular interval by taking the regular visit. And finally, we have to submit what is the number of the poll up to 8, then after up to 10, up to 12, up to 2, up to 4, up to 6. So that is the sheet which been provided to the sector supervisor. We already also have a very good WhatsApp group on which we are regularly been sharing all these sheets to the particular officials which are continuously been updating all this information online on their particular website. So that is the visit we have been taken. So first of all, we have to visit during the mock poll. So we visit at the different booths as far as possible at the different booths. So that is the GPS camera picture at the on the dated 9th. So these are the pictures during the mock poll at Farmana Khas. After that, we have take the regular visit on the election day, that is the 9th November. After the mock poll, we have to visit at all the booths after the regular intervals. So that is the visit sheet on which we have to sign, which is being provided to the presiding officer of all the booths. So that's the way we are visiting at the different booths during the poll. Simultaneously, we have to fill that visit sheet. And during the visit, we generally faced no problem. Whole election going very smooth. But it is the duty which been assigned to all the sector supervisor to regularly visit at all the booth with the team, that is the EVM trainer, master trainer, police official. After that, we have to make a complete summary chart of the votes polled at the different booths during the Jila Parishad and the Panchayat Samiti election on the date 9th November 2022. So that is the whole sheet being framed by the sector supervisor and been submitted on a particular WhatsApp group. After that, after a 1 day break, during that break day, we have also to visit, that is the break time for the election, but we have to visit on all the booths to see whether there is any lacuna or not. So after that, we have to go with the different teams. In the evening, like in the previous case, in the late evening, we reach at the different polling station with the teams. We visit at all the booths in all the four villages, that is the Bheni Chandrapal, Farmana Khas, Farmana Badshapur in the Bedwa, to see whether all the teams successfully been reached at their particular station, whether they have any problem or they have no problem, they have the requirement of any type of paper. So we have to visit for all these. Similarly, on the 11th, we visited up to the late evening at all the booths. After that, at the early morning on the 11th November 2022. In both the elections, time is from 7 a.m. to the 6 p.m. But the mock poll has to be done at the 6, means before the polling, starting of the polling time, that is the 7 a.m. So generally all the presiding officer perform their duty in between the 6 a.m. to 6:30, so that after that they can pack up all the machines by the provided seals. So that is the time of mock poll during the Sarpanch and the Panch election at the Bheni Chandrapal. After the regular visit for the mock poll, as far as possible to the different booths, we have again to take the visit at all the booth after the regular interval during the whole Sarpanch and the Panch election. Generally, the Sarpanch and the Panch election found to be very sensitive, but in the Mehem block area, and particularly in the villages like the Bheni Chandrapal, Farmana Khas, and the Farmana Badshapur and the Bedwa, generally the whole of the election gone very smooth. But main thing during these elections that we have to be with one of the team during the declaration of the result. So we regularly visit at all the booths, and finally where we are present, at 6 p.m. we have to stay at that particular station along with the team during the declaration of the result of both Sarpanch and the Panch. So that is the visit. As you can see, the whole election, whole peoples, they are standing in a particular disciplined manner at all the booths, because we also sector supervisor in the different blocks, like in my area, we have already assigned the duty to all the police officials that they remain at their particular sites and maintain the discipline, so that the whole of the election gone very smooth. There should be no disturbances, and all the police officials perform their duty very well. As we can, as we already tell you, with a very regular interval at the different booth, I give a very strict instructions to all the SHOs and so on, all the different officials, police officials, they remain in a strict mode during the whole election time. No leniency will be taken. That is a very serious matter. Every duty should be in a very disciplined way. As we all generally been the college teachers, we already been in a very disciplined way in our class. So that is the way we have to perform our duty at that spot also. And generally, I want to share one more thing with you. Okay, in this year, that is, we have, when we are filling our ACR after the election duty, or when the whole of the election duty get over, there is a particular point. What are the different points which causes hindrance in your performance? Generally, these type of work, we have no problem in that type of duties. We have no problem in any type of duties along with the our teaching duties, but because that is a very long period, this time means from the November 3rd to the November 12th, during which the teaching performance get affected, because after the 12th of November we have to take the study very seriously by taking the extra classes and so on, because it is the nature of all the teachers that they have to perform their duty in a very sincere manner. So similarly, we have performed our duty in a very sincere manner during these election days, because after that we have to take the study matter in a very serious manner. So by keeping all this mind, we have given very strict. We have taken very strict mode. We have we have not given to any of the official, any of the person to take any type of leniency during whole of the election period. So generally, we have not faced any type of problem. So during the whole day, I visit at the different booths. As far as I remember, I visit all the booth at all the regular visit during the regular visits. I take the multiple visits at the different booths. So that is a very new experience for me. I also simultaneously give some important instruction to all the presiding officers at the different booth, which generally been faced during the election time, because previously in the past years I performed the duty as a presiding officers. So I also share my experience with all the presiding officer at the different booth. All the presiding officers at all the booth along with their team, the polling officer, APOs, all are very nice persons. I meet with the different officials from the different schools, from the different persons from the different blocks of the MD University. So I also meet these all these persons. All are very well disciplined, hard worker persons, due to which whole of the election gone very smooth. As you can see in the picture, the whole of the system is very smooth. The four villages which are assigned to me, that is the Farmana Khas, Behni Chandrapal, Farmana Badshahpur, and the Bedwa, all are the persons of the villages also cooperate in this manner, but that all been happened due to the whole team, the whole police officials, and the cool-minded our returning officer of the Mehem block, that is SDM of Mehem block, that is very nice person, very cool-minded person. So that is the time where the poll will end, and I when the time is of almost the 6 p.m. during the visit, I was in the village Pedwa. So at the end, I stayed at Bedwa village because I received a call from the our returning officer that the Bedwa polling presiding officer required some help in their paper assembly. So finally, I reached at the village Bedwa to help the presiding officer at the Bedwa. I help my whole team help the presiding officer in this respect. So that is the time of counting of the voting during the declaration of the Sarpanch election at the village. After the declaration of the Sarpanch, the counting of the punch, the opening of the boxes, now the counting, After the counting, the result was declared. That is the declaration of the result at the final booth where I am present. One more task which is being performed by the sector supervisor, that is about the filling of the logbook performa for the vehicle regarding the visit at the different booth during the Sarpanch and Panch election. That the same performa, same logbook performa been filled during the Jila Parishad, the Panchayat Smiti election also. So that is the logbook performa for getting the payment to the driver, which has been the vehicle given to the sector supervisor. So that's the duty of the sector supervisor to fill that performa, including the time of initial time 11/11/22 and the final time 12 November 2022. Initial meter reading followed by the final meter reading to be filled here. Remuneration performa, that is of the my team with me. That is, one is the EVM trainer, other one EVM trainer, the polling officer. One polling officer is in my vehicle. If there is any problem with the any of the polling officer at any of the booth, so that is the reserve polling officer with me during the whole time from dated 8th November to the 9th November. Similarly, from 11th November to the 12th November 22. So that is all about the performance, the duties which been assigned to me during the whole election time from the 3rd November to the 12th November. The time is very long, but I faced no problem. But my teaching performance been affected because that is very long time. From the 3rd November to the 12th, 10 days. 10 days is not a small time. It is a very long time for a teacher. Thank you. That is all about my experience in the election duty as a sector supervisor. Thank you.